Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Nez Nation Live. It is so good to see you guys. Replay viewers, come on in. Let me know that you're watching this on the replay. Type TR in the comments. We are live, and I'm just, wow, we got a lot to cover for you today. As the title suggests and as the thumbnail suggests, I don't know if we saw this one coming. Is Putin trolling? Is this just masterful chess by the Russian premier? Or is this Russian interference? What's going on? Is this a whole new, this isn't your average Russia collusion story? But yes, the endorsement heard round the world. Vladimir Putin has given his support to Kamala Harris. You heard it here, folks. And we're going to kind of unpack that. I'm going to show you video of what I'm talking about, because I'm not just making this up out of thin air, and you can decide for yourself. And then we're also going to talk about the latest installment of, as Trump would say, here it comes again. Russia, Russia, Russia. Hoax, hoax, hoax. That's all they got, people. They're trying to get me again. The whole thing's a hoax. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. That's all they got. I'm working on my Trump impression, I know. I just love the guy. How do you not love this guy? It's great to see everybody. Come on in, come on in. We got the best mods in the house. We got some live breaking news, though. Check this out. Robert Kennedy Jr., RFK Jr., has officially clarified how he wants all of his supporters to vote. I'm going to share this with you. This is absolutely huge. Check this out. This is absolutely amazing. RFK Jr., okay? So RFK Jr. has sent out this, obviously it's his like mailer here. And this was posted just recently on X. I'm also going to share a quick video where he talked to Jesse Waters about why and exactly what he wants his supporters to do. But check this out. I think this is pretty cool. Let me see if I can kind of zoom in on this. I think this is pretty cool. So he says, a lot of people are asking me if they live in a red state or blue state. Should they still vote for me? What about swing states? The answer is easy. No matter what state you live in, I urge you to vote for Donald Trump. The reason is that it's the only way we can get me and everything I stand for into Washington, D.C. and fulfill the mission that motivated my campaign. Holy macadamia nut. That's pretty huge right there. I mean, that obviously you guys remember we did an entire video on this. You know, he did an ad and he suspended his campaign saying that he's supporting Trump. But this is like, there was talks whether he was going to stay on the ballot. He even said in that epic speech, which I thought was one of the best political speeches I'd seen. I have the entire video. It's the speech where he announces that he's suspending his campaign and he's supporting Trump. I thought it was a very, very powerful speech. And what he said was, he said something I thought is kind of nebulous. Thank you, Papa V, for reminding me. Great to see you, Papa. Papa V in the house. We got the best mods in the house. Thank you, Laura Tilford. Dash Hound is in the house. Good to see you, Dash Hound. Jim's here. My man JB, Chuck Kreina in the house. It's so great to see you guys. He kind of said, well, no, I'm still going to be on the ballot, but I'm stepping down. I want to support Trump, but you can still vote for me. It was very nebulous. And I didn't quite understand it. And from what I understand, and let me know in the comments if you know better than I do, from my due diligence and my research, he's still going to be on the ballot in certain states, especially Pennsylvania, Michigan, I think, and some of the key swing states, which I think is extremely odd to say the least. Good to see you, Robert Littlejohn. Fantastic. Come on in. Make sure you tap that thumbs up. It's not for me. If you want to get your country back, give me a huge yeah in the comments. And when you tap that thumbs up, it helps us because it pushes these videos. These are educational, informative videos. The whole premise of our show is to share the truth about what's happening in our country, what's happening in our ecosystem, everything that the mainstream fake woke mafia media will never divulge to you. So I see a lot of yes. Yes, Angie Warren in the house. Good to see you, JB, my man JB, Jim Barron in the house. So this is really a big deal because now he is I mean, in solid, form, he is cementing his support in a way that I don't think he did that before. Because before he was very nebulous. I thought it was very strange, even though I loved the speech. I just didn't get the feeling that, oh, he's still kind of saying vote for me, but not really saying vote for me. But, things change, things are moving fast, especially in this election cycle and what's happening in our glorious republic. Everything is at stake. I've said this time and time again. Thank you, Nana. I've said this time and time again. We are in the most consequential era of American history since 1860. This is the most consequential election of our lives. So much is at stake. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not being dramatic. It's everything. So I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really cool that RFK actually did that, and I'm really curious to see what else he says. I want to play a quick video, and then I'll show you the Putin stuff. I want to play a quick video of RFK basically asking all of his supporters to vote for President Trump, as you just saw in that mailer. But this is exactly why he says he's doing that. He told Jesse Waters on Fox. I'm going to play that for you right now. Check this out, and then we'll talk about Putin. Check this out.
If you were on stage facing Kamala Harris, how would you turn this exchange into a victory for you?
I talk about her record. I talk about the border. I would, if between 7 and as high as 15 million illegal immigrants who've come in, escorted in by the Sinaloa drug cartel. They've been crushing the social safety system in our country. I talk about the COVID lockdowns, which closed 3.3 million businesses, and 41% of the Black-owned businesses will never reopen. It shifted $4.3 trillion north from the American middle class to this new oligarchy of billionaires. I would talk about censorship. I think she's very, very vulnerable on that because of the statements that she's made, but also the policy of the Biden administration. You now have Mark Zuckerberg coming forward and saying that the Biden White House ordered him to censor President Biden's political opponents. And I'd want to know
did a video on
where
that.
she stood on that. I talk about the health epidemic in our country that is overwhelming American children. I talk about her role in gaslighting the country about President Biden's mental condition. She told the country that she was talking to him every day and that he was perfectly okay. And then we realized that it was all a hoax when we saw him on the debating stage. Oh, I think she has a lot of the economy is a mess. We've got I want to know how she's going to deal with the housing crisis, how she's going to get our kids back into houses again. Our kids can't afford housing, the first generation in history. I'd ask her about the deficit, $35 trillion. $1 trillion every 90 days, we're adding $1 trillion. Within 5 years, 50 cents out of every dollar that we spend in taxes is going to go to servicing the debt. Does she have a plan for that?
She has no plan for that. She absolutely has no plan for that at all. The debate is coming up, by the way, guys, September 10th on Tuesday. I'm going to do everything in my power to go live, even though the timing is not too great for me schedule-wise, but it's just too important. I also will probably do a wrap-up show where I can really give it my good thoughts and watch it and analyze it and then share my reaction to it the next day. Let me know in the comments. Do you want me to go live during the first debate? Let me know. It's happening on ABC. There is going to be muted mics. It's essentially going to be the exact same format of the Biden-Trump debate that essentially was the send-off for Joe Biden. Remember, only a few weeks before that debate, if you even dared to say that Biden had some kind of mental decline or some kind of problem, or, he's getting older, he's forgetful, the Robert Hur investigation divulged so much about him. If you even mention anything like that, you were a bigot, you were a racist, you're an ageist, you're everything that the woke mafia throws at you when you disagree with them. They always go towards these real hateful, spiteful categories, and they try to bottle you up. You were basically thrown to the mob. And then the debate happens, and he absolutely couldn't put 1-2 sentences together. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, George Clooney says, this isn't the guy I knew before. The gaslighting, the utter, shameless gaslighting that the Hippocrats, give me a hashtag Hippocrats in the comments right now. The absolute shameless, I'm going to type it too. The absolute shamelessness of the Hippocrats. Kennedy's right. What else are you gaslighting on? I think that should be the very first thing. If I could predict, if I was advising Trump, and I know he's got fantastic advisors, if I was advising Trump, I would say I don't care what question they ask you. I don't know who's moderating it. Is it Slopadopoulos? I don't know. Whoever's moderating it for ABC, it's going to be garbage. It's going to be completely convoluted. It's going to be completely biased. The very first thing I would do if I was Trump, I would just turn to her and go, Madam Vice President, you were around Joe Biden for 4 years. Why didn't you tell the American people that Joe Biden was declining in mental cognition? And if you didn't know, what does that say about your ability to be perceptive, which, being the leader of the free world, going after the highest office in the land, requires the utmost perceptiveness, ingenuity, and focus and attention? I would literally just say that to her. That's the very first thing. I don't care if they say, Mr. Trump, we're going to pose this question to you. What would you do with the auto industry? No. I would just ignore the question, whatever the first question is. I would ignore the question and I go, excuse me. Hey, Trump impression incoming. Excuse me, George, excuse me. I want to know one thing, Madam Vice President. There's a little Brando in there. I want to know one thing, Madam Vice President. Why couldn't you tell? You were around him for a long time. Why couldn't you tell about the president? Who are you? What are you? Hey, I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. All right, I'm sorry. I'm combining. I'm combining the two impressions. That was not intentional. But that's the very first thing that I would literally do if I was Trump, because it's just absurd. It's just absolutely absurd. The amount of gaslight, it's the same thing with COVID. It's the same thing with Ukraine. It's the same thing with the economy. It's the same thing with the borders are. They try to gaslight. No, she was never in control of the border. Oh, we actually have video proof. Excuse me? Excuse me? Huh? We actually have video proof. We actually have articles that have, in parentheses, in quotation marks, borders are Kamala Harris. There's all sorts of receipts. You can't fool us. The American public is not stupid. And as long as I've got oxygen in my lungs, I'm going to be the eternal reminder. No, she was never the borders are. No. Don't believe your wallet. What? What do you mean there's a bad economy? What do you mean gas prices are out of control? What do you mean the price of milk, eggs, bread? What do you mean that's adequate? What are you talking about? The economy's perfect. Remember Don Lemon? Remember Don? The fake Don Lemon? Phony Don Lemon, who's like, Actually, oh my God, he just drives me crazy. He is he is so elitist, entitled. Like, I am black and gay. Hear me. You should listen to me and bow down to me, Don Lemon. Um, no. Actually, the statistics show that the economy is great. Remember, he did that man on the street thing? I did a video on this, and he interviewed real Americans. And the guy was like, I had more money in my wallet 4 years ago. I got more bang for my buck 4 years ago. He was asking questions, Kamala or Trump. And he says, that's fine, but statistics actually show the economy is doing really well. What? What statistics? The ones that you made up out of your fairy dust CNN playbook? What statistics are you drawing from? It is absurd. They will look you in the eye. This is as Orwellian as it gets. They want us to forget that they executed a coup on a sitting president. You think this guy, what George Clooney says, oh, he did it amazing, honest, selfless. He put country first like George Washington. I mean, these people think we're imbeciles, my fellow Americans. We're not imbeciles. You're not going to fool us. And come November, you're really going to find out. Okay, so what we're all here for, not your average Russia collusion love story. So Putin was on some kind of a show here. I don't even know what it was. But he was interviewed and he said this. Wait till you see this. Holy macadamia nut. Is this just an epic troll or what is this? Check this out.
If we can name a favorite candidate, it used to be Joe Biden, but now he is not participating in the election campaign, and he recommended to all his allies to support Ms. Harris. So that is what we are going to do. So it was, well, he said that we should, that is why we should also do that. Well, her laugh, she's laughing, her laugh is so fascinating. It means that everything is good, and if everything is good, it means that, for instance, if we're speaking about Joe Biden, there are so many sanctions against Russia introduced, and if everything is good with Ms. Harris, maybe she'll refrain herself from such measures, or maybe she'll change them. So in the end, it will be the choice of the US people, and we will respect this choice.
Okay. So first of all, wow. So what are your initial thoughts? I mean, there's all sorts of articles coming out, that are basically downplaying this. The woke fake mafia media, the mainstream media is saying, no, he didn't endorse her. Wait a minute. First of all, I want to hear from you, smart, intelligent, critical thinking Americans, our awesome Nez Nation audience. Was that an endorsement or what was that? He said Biden told us he's stepping down, and he said, if you support me, you will support Kamala Harris. So didn't he just say, we will support, he represents Russia. He's the president of Russia, the head of the Kremlin, right? He said, we will support Harris. And then what an amazing comment. Her laugh is fascinating. Her laugh is fascinating. There is absolutely nothing fascinating about that laugh. If by fascinating, Premier Putin, you mean that when she laughs, cats run and bury their heads in the sand? That when she laughs, it literally sends shards of glass down my spine? If you mean when she laughs that the toxicity that comes out of her mouth can actually kill rodents and pests in your house, we need to learn how to bottle that cackle up. That's better than Terminix, man. You got termites? Just bottle that cackle up. That'll take care of everything. What do you guys think? Boy, is this just the ultimate trolling right here? I'm seeing a lot of people. Good to see you. Independent Think on Rumble says he's trolling the Democrats. Is that what you think? Boy, oh boy. I mean, this is a huge, huge deal. Essentially saying, I support, Kamala Harris. That is really, really big words right there. Now, here's what I would say to this, which I think, I mean, let's just look at this from a practical standpoint, right? Would he have attacked Ukraine if Trump was there? I think without a shadow of doubt, no, he wouldn't have. Did Trump exemplify a stronger, more, I would say, for lack of a better word, intimidating foreign policy when he was president? I mean, there's all sorts of videos where he's like pushing people around and he's, telling the people at the G7 summit, he's telling people in the United Nations, he's telling people at the NATO treaty summit that, we're sick and tired of paying for you guys. We're sick and tired of fitting the bill, and you guys aren't doing anything in return. We're sick and tired of taking care of you guys. We're sick and tired of policing the world. We're sick and tired of having to protect you every second of the day. We can't afford to send you billions of dollars every month when we've got homeless veterans. We've got, unemployment. We've got economic inflation. We got problems of our own. We got domestic issues. I think there's no shadow of a doubt that Putin absolutely would not have attacked Ukraine if Trump was there. And I do believe Trump when he says he'll end this thing on day one, because I think he can. I think he will. I think there's a reason why. I think his negotiation skills, I mean, whose people skills, whose negotiation and communication skills do you actually think are stronger? Kamala's or Trump's? Please let me know in the comments. Trump or Kamala? Who has better negotiation, better communication skills? Who do you think is going to command more respect? Kamala or Trump? I can't wait to see this. That's right, Laura. So, I mean, on a practical side, I'll talk about the trolling side, but just on a practical side, wouldn't it make more sense geopolitically for him to support Kamala? Wouldn't it make more sense for him to support Comrade Kamala? I mean, she talks about, policies that resemble, the same things that the Soviet Union wanted. And let's not get it twisted. Russia is not a democracy. There's no free and fair elections. There are no civil liberties there, not even close. I know Tucker went to Russia and he did that huge interview and he showed the subways and all those fantastic things. Yeah, maybe in the nicer parts of town, but I think the majority of people will agree that, Putin, this guy's been president for how many years? 50 years now? For crying out loud, it feels like that. I know it's over 20. I mean, how many American presidents has Putin gone through? He is a dictator. He is a tyrannical, fascist dictator. It's a dictatorship. There is no free and fair elections. There is no democracy in Russia. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing a lot of Trumps. Trump or Kamala? I love trolling. Okay, I troll TikTok live streamers all the time. I go into every time I scroll on TikTok and I see a live stream, I always put the comment Trump or Kamala. At this point, to be honest, it's not even Trump or Kamala. At this point, it's either America or communism. I mean, that is not hyperbole. I'm not exaggerating. Those are our choices, folks. I mean, her economic policy of taxing unrealized gains, her flip-flopping, her switching, her now I'm border, now I'm not border. It is evil incarnate. That is what Kamala Harris, to me, personifies. her fake accents. She's black one day, she's white one day, she's Jamaican one day, she's Cajun one day. Tomorrow she's going to be Asian. The next day she's going to be Ugandan. I mean, she is evil incarnate, in my opinion. And I don't like to, judge anybody. And who am I to judge, really? But I'm going to say it anyway. I think that Kamala Harris will say and do anything to get elected, and that is so dangerous, which is why she is now saying, oh yeah, I'm going to finish the border. There's tons of videos. There's tons of footage on her denouncing and calling the border essentially racist. If you support the border, if you support the wall, you're an Islamophobe, you're a homophobe, you're a migrant phobe, or whatever woke phobe they want to throw on a word. They'll throw phobe on anything. Oh, you're oxygen phobe. You're such an oxygen phobe. I'm pansexual. Get the F out of here. I'm sick and tired of it. I want my country back. So yeah, I'll go through these TikTok streams. We don't talk politics. This is not the place for politics. Why are you ruining the vibe? I don't want to watch your stream if you support Kamala. I don't want to do business with you if you support Kamala. I don't want to enact with you. I don't want to engage with you if you actually look at this vile creature. Okay? Look, I'm planning on doing some renovation in my home. I literally asked the dude on the phone, I go, here's how I'm going to hire you. I'm going to ask you one question, Trump or Kamala. I'm not hiring anybody who supports Kamala. I can't. Because if you support Kamala, you literally are supporting the demise of our country. Now, having said that, I might contradict myself here. Having said that, do I welcome all viewpoints? Yes, if they're constructive. I believe in the power of communication. I believe in the power of discourse. I think that's the best way to heal our country. That's the best way to bridge the divide. Okay? And I want to educate. The whole purpose of this channel is to educate everyone who has no clue, everyone who's been brainwashed by the mainstream media, everybody who's been brainwashed by this fake joy movement. Joy, joy, joy. Everybody who's been fooled by whoever their local community member leaders are. Everybody who's been fooled by the narrative of the hypocrites. They're not Democrats, y'all. These people are not Democrats, okay? Let me be very clear. The Democratic Party is no longer. This is not the Democratic Party. The party of Kamala Harris, the party of Obama and Joe Biden, this is not the Democrat Party. This is not the Democrat Party of our parents and our uncles and aunts. They are so, when you've got Bill Maher, I mean, it doesn't get much more liberal than Bill Maher. I can't stand Bill Maher. I can't stand his ideas. I try not to attack people, except for Kamala, because she's evil incarnate. I tend to try to attack ideas, not people. This is not the Democratic Party. These are not the Democrats. When you've got people like Bill Maher saying, I don't even recognize this party anymore. When you've got this hashtag walkaway movement. I know most of you guys watching right now, you saw the video where I shared with you testimonies from lifelong. These aren't just like people who are like, I just got into politics. No. These are lifelong Democrats. These are people who have voted Democrat for years. These are people who have been activists, progressive donators for years. And they're saying, I'm not voting for Kamala. I'm voting for Trump. Because you have two choices, my fellow Americans. You have the return. I really truly believe that Trump is like this great reformer and he's going to bring our country back to oblivion. We're in oblivion right now. It's more than just make America great. I think he's going to heal the country. I really truly believe that. And it might, look, I've said this many times. Are there things that I wish he would just shut up and not say? Of course, even though I love him to death. I think he's charming. I don't take what he says so offensively. I was raised in a world where you didn't get offended by silly comments. You didn't take everything so darn seriously that you could actually talk and hang out and locker room talk. It was prevalent when I was a kid. I was raised around comedians like Don Rickles. I was raised around comedians like Martin Short. I was raised around comedians and entertainers and musicians where we didn't take everything so personally, get offended. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you misgender me? We didn't get offended so damn easily as they do now. It's disgusting what's happened. So yeah, I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm drawing a line in the sand. Either you support America, okay, or you support the demise of our republic. I truly believe if this vicious, lecherous swine, this cretin, this creature called Kamala gets into office, it's lights out. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what we're going to do as a country. It cannot happen, which is why I'm working 100x harder. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Speaking of Russia collusion. Oh, wait, but first, let me just say this. But first, I want to say this. So on a practical side, that's kind of what I was talking about. On a practical side, of course, it makes sense that Putin would support and endorse Kamala and Biden because they're weak, because they're anti-American, because they're for the same ideologies that he is. They're synonymous. They have the same beliefs, the same ideologies as Putin does. You actually think you're going to tell me that you actually think that Kamala Harris cares about America? You need to have a serious heart-to-heart with God and a very credible doctor if you think Kamala Harris gives a rat's ass about you, me, or anything related to America. Because one thing I pride myself on is not only my due diligence and research, but my ability to read people. And I'm telling you right now, she is the pinnacle of LADs. She's not only a lion-ass dog, I truly believe she has no soul. I've worked with these people. Remember, I've been around these people. When I worked at the university in the public sector, I was surrounded by Kamalas. There was Kamala's left, Kamala's right, Kamala's north, south, east, west. Everywhere you looked was Kamala, especially in the administration. One of the greatest delights of 2024, one of the highlights, I think, of 2024 is the exposure and the unraveling of our higher education system here in America. Claudine Gay is Kamala. Kamala is Claudine Gay. They're all the same. Power hungry, Hippocratic, total hypocrites, LADs, and they don't care about anything but one thing. They love looking down on people, they love having control over people, and they love, capital P, power. That's it. That's all they care about. So yeah, on a practical standpoint, it makes complete sense that Putin would support these guys. Now, in a masterful chess, while everybody else is playing checkers, it's such a cool troll to say that. I mean, he is, as much as, again, I'm not saying, I'm trying to look at this objectively. But as much as I think Putin is a dictator and he's just got nefariousness written all over him, he's got corruption written all over him. He's a masterful chess player when it comes to politics. I don't know where he gets that from, his KGB background or what, but he is a masterful chess player. And the look in his eye when he says her laugh is fascinating. It must mean that everything is okay. I mean, she laughs at everything. She does. I mean, she does laugh at everything. And when he says, well, Biden did tell us he's stepping down, and if you support me, you have to support Harris. So he just makes a sign like Lottie freaking da. We're just following orders, right? Just humble pie over here. Humble Putin. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are. So in so many ways, he's playing masterful chess. or in other ways, he's really showing the world, you know, how he can be such an effective politician, much more masterful than Kamala and Biden put together, right? Okay, so yes, ladies and gentlemen, you guessed it. Russia is back. Russia is back. They went after Trump for how many years? How many years did they go after Trump? They went after Trump for how many years, guys? How many years did they go after Trump? And it was all. What did Mueller say? What did Robert Mueller say? They didn't find a damn thing. They didn't find anything, right? And now they're at it again. Listen to this.
The Justice Department is seizing 32 internet domains that the Russian government and the Russian-sponsored actors have used to engage in a covert campaign to interfere and influence the outcome of our country's elections.
Okay, so we got Russia. Russia's back. It's the Russian collusion hoax. It's the Russian hoax. Let me just say something right now for the record. There's no such thing as Russian interference. Unless they actually invade us and invade the Capitol and, go to our homes and suburbs and cities alike and put guns to our head and say, this is how you need to vote. There's no such thing as Russian collusion. There's no such thing as Russian interference. When they say that Russia's interfering with our elections, they're saying that you and me are completely inept and we have a malnourished brain. We have a diminished capacity. We're not smart. That when we see something on Facebook, we just go, oh my God, what? You mean to tell me Trump, I know there's a lot of dumb people out there that believe the mainstream media. There's a lot of dumb people out there that take CNN for gospel. God knows why. Which is one of the premises and one of the sort of missions of this channel is to reach those people and say, look, everything you've been told is wrong. Everything that these so-called pundits and this left mainstream media, woke media has been telling you for years is capital W wrong. I know there's a lot of dumb people out there, but to waste the resources, waste very vital Department of Justice resources, funding, budget on there's another Russia hoax now? Now you're telling me there's another Russia hoax? Is this really happening again? Part ducks? Part do? This is what's happening? You can't be serious. Why haven't we discovered? Why has there been no outcome to the investigation of the assassination attempt of our president? It's been 2 months since that fateful day that will forever live in infamy. We were live when it happened. I almost had a heart attack and passed out. July 13th, 2024. Why have we heard nothing? Who did it? What happened? Who was with him? What happened to Secret Service? Why was there such an obvious, blatant case of incompetence to the nth degree? Who's leaving? Who's getting fired? Who's being held accountable? Nothing. We've heard nothing. But Russia. Wait a minute. Trump's ahead in the polls? Hey, Louis, come here. What are we doing? Throw out that Russia. But we already did that. Doesn't matter. Let's do it. We got to throw the kitchen sink. Hey, Louis. Who's Louis? All super chats and new members, I'm giving you a live shout out at the end. Stick around. They want us to forget, guys. They want us to forget. What Russian hoax? What Russian hoax? Remember this? Here, let me play this for you. Remember this? This is what you're going to hear for the next 4 years. Watch this. Remember this? This is a great little montage right here.
I want to know what the Russians have on Donald Trump. I think we have to have that investigation by the FBI into his financial, personal, and political connections to Russia. What do the Russians have on Donald Trump? Politically, financially, and personally. What does Vladimir Putin have on President Trump? Personally, politically, financially, in any way. What does he have on Donald Trump? I think it's probably financial. I think it's probably financial, either something financial he has on or something on the come. I want to know what the Russians have on Donald.
Oh my goodness gracious. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, Louis. Yeah, what is it, Nez? Hey, Louis, we tried to imprison him. We tried to take away all his money. We tried to assassinate him. We tried to smear him. We tried to do everything we can. Can we throw Russia hoax back at him? Sure thing. Coming up, Nez. Thanks, Louis. You're the best. Yeah, exactly. Well said. Good to see you, Robert Winsman. Robert Winsman says, projection much? Yeah. Here's somebody who was caught red-handed being one of the perpetrators of January 6th and makes a measly government salary, but is somehow has a net worth of over $50 million, $100 million. AOC, right? She went into a public life as a broke bartender. She now has a net worth of over $20 million. How does that happen? What about the Biden crime family? What about the Hunter Biden laptop story? How that was buried. So we got another Russian collusion hoax, and it's going to get so heated, my fellow Americans. It's going to get so much more cranked up over the net. We are literally 60 days away from the most consequential election of our lives. I think this is just the beginning. I think this is just the beginning. They're going to throw everything. The kitchen sink, the garage, the refrigerator, the microwave, the furniture, the kids, the dog. They don't care. They're going to throw everything to make sure that this guy doesn't win. And you have to ask yourself a very serious question. Why? Why are they so bent, okay, on him not winning? Why are they so bent on that? It just doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. You have to ask that question. What are they so afraid of? You've got 4 sham trials. I just did a video earlier of an undercover chief public affairs of the DOJ who literally confessed everything about Alvin Do Nothing Bragg. If you haven't seen that, maybe one of my mods can leave a link in the comments. Go to my YouTube channel and check that out right now. It is, well, not right now, maybe after this stream, after this video. It's amazing. So, I mean, you have to ask yourself, why is this happening? What are they so afraid of? If this is the party that says democracy is on the ballot, why don't you let the people decide? Isn't this supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people? You're doing everything to bypass Americans. You're doing everything to trample on American civil liberties, their right to vote, their right to decide, by installing Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris didn't earn 1 vote, didn't earn 1 primary delegation. She got nada, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, zero, goose egg. Why are you bypassing millions of Americans? Why don't you let the democratic process unfold and let it happen? Let the process happen. Let the people decide. What are you so afraid of? Here's something that's crazy that just got released today. President Biden came out of his casket today. And, you know, it's funny. Whenever he goes off teleprompter because he can't read it or whatever, he doesn't know how to use it, he ends up telling some truths. And it's almost as if Biden in this clip just admitted that the Inflation Reduction Act was actually about funding climate change. Check this out. This is remarkable. Check this out. Holy macadamia nut. Are you kidding me right now?
My investments, through my investments, the most significant climate change law ever. And by the way, it is a $369 billion bill. It's called the, we should have named it what it was, but at any rate, my investments.
Did you guys hear that? One more time. I'm going to play it one more time. Did you guys hear what he just said right there? Did you hear him say we ought to call it what? Thank you so much, Laura Tilford. Did you hear what he just said? We ought to call it what we should have called it what it really is. Did you just hear that? Here, one more time.
That through my investments, the most significant climate change law ever. And by the way, it is a $369 billion bill. It's called the, we should have named it what it was, but.
Wait. The $369 billion bill was the Inflation Reduction Act.
We should have named it what it was.
But he was about to say it. The bill it was called. Listen to this.
$69 billion bill. It's called the,
he was about to say it right there. Did you guys, I just paused it at the perfect moment. By the way, it's a bill. It's called the, and then he stopped himself. He realized what he was doing.
We should have named it what it was, but at any rate.
I mean, there's just like, they're not even hiding it anymore, my fellow Americans. Everything that this tombstone vegetable in chief Biden has done. Remember when he said at the DNC, he said, I will be Kamala's loudest, most vocal volunteer. Oh, really? This guy's been burning himself on a beach for the past 16 days while the whole country's rotting and there's 2 world wars happening overseas. Whatever happened to, you did so good, Joey. You answered all the questions. Here's a cookie. What happened to her? What happened to Dr. Jill? She was on the cover of all these magazines. She was doing interviews. My husband is there. My husband's excited. My husband's vivacious. My husband has energy. He knows what he's doing. He has mental acuity. What happened to Doctor? Where's the doctor? Where's Dr. Jill? I don't see Dr. Jill. Do you? Holy mackerel. They are done hiding it, my fellow Americans. They are absolutely done hiding it. They do not care about you at all. It is obvious that these guys do not care about you one bit. Not once. They don't care about you at all. So I'm begging you to act accordingly. I am begging you to vote accordingly. Here's another reason why I drew a line in the sand. You know, I used to watch basketball. I used to watch. You know, I've been a longtime Laker fan. Magic Johnson's really let me down too. I've been a longtime Laker fan. You know, not since LeBron, because I can't really stand LeBron, especially his anti-American sitting. Anybody who sits during the national anthem. You know, if you're an American and you sit during the national anthem and you don't stand up, I think you should have to pay a fine at the bare minimum or face deportation. I really, truly mean that. Excuse me. I think it's absolutely abominable. And then to take a knee like he did, just don't even get me started. But recently, you know, Steph Curry has announced on CNBC that he's supporting Kamala Harris. Well, I actually used to like Steph Curry. Not anymore, I don't. Not anymore. I'm drawing a line in the sand. You either love America or you don't. That's really the two choices that you have right now. There is no doubt in my mind. Well, Nez, you're being so extreme. There is no doubt in my mind that Comrade Kamala hates America. There's no doubt in my mind. There's not a molecule of doubt in my head that she can't stand America. She's proven it over and over and over again, time and time again. There's no doubt in my mind that Biden, that Obama, that their only focus, their narrow tunnel vision was only on cementing their power. That's it. That's all they cared about. Not only through their actions, not only through their hypocritical phrases, slogans, speech, communication. You could feel it on multiple levels, but reflected in the outcomes of their policies. More importantly, I don't know about you, but 4 years ago, I was doing a lot better. 4 years ago, I felt safe. 4 years ago, I could actually take my kids on vacation. 4 years ago, I could afford gas. 4 years ago, I could take my kid to the park without being worried about running into 18 homeless people that want to stab me. 4 years ago, I felt safe when somebody did something wrong, they were held accountable. 4 years ago, I felt safe with my kids not being forced, trans woke ideologies before the age of consent. I don't feel that way anymore. So it's a reflection of their policies. Excuse me. God bless me. Oh, yeah. Good to see you, Mandy. Oh, yeah. I did a whole thing on the migrants taking over. It's unreal. They took over Aurora. They took over apartment complexes in Chicago, New York. It's coming to a city near you. It's coming to a city near you. I mean, again, here are your two choices: America or dystopian communistic state. That's literally what our two choices are. So I'm going to work 100x harder. I don't believe any of the polls. Especially the ones that say Kamala's ahead. That's ridiculous. But even the ones that say Trump is ahead or way ahead, this is a reliable source. I don't care. I am working 100x harder because I'm a father, I'm a patriot, I'm a husband, and I care about our country not burning to the ground. And I want my kids to flourish in this amazing America that helped me flourish, helped my parents flourish, helped my grandparents flourish, and more. Well said, Laura. I choose America. So before you guys leave, I'm gonna go down and give some shout outs to some amazing people, but also go check out that video I posted today on the undercover footage of a chief official at the DOJ who confessed everything about Alvin Bragg, Fani Willis, the indictments, what they're planning to do with Trump. It is a phenomenal video. You have to see it if you haven't seen it yet. Maybe one of my mods can share the link once again. I want to give a big shout out to Jim Barron. Thank you, JB. You are the man, the myth, the legend. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Chuck Kreiner. We got the best mods in the business. Good to see you, Chuck. My man CK in the house. John Lies gives 5 Professor Nez memberships. Holy mackerel. Thank you, John Lies. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, John. That's amazing. 59 Minutes Presents. Thank you for the $2 super chat. He supports her because she's a win for Russia. Well said. Well said. Ivan Popovich. Thank you, by the way, 59 Minutes. Ivan Popovich, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. What message do you feel we need to get out to the people? We love you, Professor. Thank you so much. I love you too. I love all of you guys in this nation. I love all of you guys watching, commenting, liking. I love all you guys. Ivan, the message that we need to get out to people is there's so much to say. I don't even know where to begin. But the message is that America is in peril, that America is facing a hostile takeover of people who don't believe in America. America is facing a potentiality of electing and installing a puppet who will literally be a puppet to the puppet masters of this cabal, this consortium of anti-American, woke, pro-terrorist supporting, pro-socialism and communism supporting people like Obama, Soros, Pelosi, Schumer, Clinton. And there's a really good reason why they're going after him. There's a really good reason why they're trying to stop Trump. They can control Kamala. They can control Biden. They can't control Trump. And the puppet master doesn't like to be outside of that control. So every single one of my videos, at the heart of every single one of the videos I publish for you guys, the heart of all of them is that message. These guys need to be exposed for who they truly are. That is the message. And I appreciate you, Yvonne. You are helping us to spread that message. You know, when I say tap the thumbs up, it's not for me. I could care less. It's not for vanity. When I say tap the thumbs up, you don't understand. This is about understanding the ecosystem. The best message, as Marshall McLuhan once said, the medium is the message. The best way to influence and reach as many people and to hopefully inspire change is through media. It's the best way, which is why I've dedicated all my efforts. I've essentially shut down all my other entrepreneurial endeavors and my businesses to focus solely on this, because it's the most important for my kids, my country, my wife, my family, you, me. So when I say tap the thumbs up, it sends a signal to the algorithm. And it says, whoa, people are liking this video. And so what it does is it takes that signal and it says other people might like it too. And it pushes our video out to more people. The more people that are informed, the better decisions they make. The more informed decisions they make, especially at the ballot box. That's our aim. That's our hope. I love you, Yvonne. Basil Beshkov, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Spot on, Professor. Mentioned the Uhuru 3 in Florida. Blacks for Putin. Wow, I didn't even know about that. I'll have to do some research on that. Thank you, Basil. Thank you again, Yvonne. You're amazing. Yvonne says he has his own agenda and it won't be good. I'm assuming you're talking about Putin. Is that correct, Yvonne? I'm assuming you're talking about Putin. Absolutely. Basil, thank you, Yvonne. Basil, you're amazing. $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Remember, Obama in December 2016 expelled 35 Russian diplomats and seized Russian property. Very, very true. Thank you for the reminder, Basil. You're absolutely right. Thank you. Thank you, JB, for gifting another membership. JB, you're amazing. Thank you so much, sir. You are awesome. Love you, JB. Queen Nisi Mo, good to see you, Queen. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. We witnessed in the R. Kelly trial and the Trump case, the law broke the law to get a conviction. Absolutely. 100%. So eloquently and beautifully stated. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. John Lies, are you kidding me? 10 memberships total? Holy, we got to give a huge round of applause for John Lies, because he's just, this is insane. John, you're absolutely phenomenal. I don't even know what to tell you. Thank you. Thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships total. John, you're a sweetheart and you're doing the right thing for our country. And I support you and I appreciate you and I thank you. Great job, brother. Great job. Wow. That is amazing. So I believe, lastly, before we go here, I believe that Putin has endorsed Kamala. I believe Putin is better able to maneuver with a weak puppet government, just like he has been with Biden. I think for certain, Putin would not have invaded Ukraine if Trump was president. Trump is way too strong diplomatically. His foreign policy and his tactics and style of dealing with really what I call the big three. Xi Jinping of China, Putin of Russia, and Kim Jong-un of North Korea. He just knows how to handle them. Maybe the axis of evil. I don't know if you want to call them that. And it makes sense that he supports Harris. It makes sense that he supports Kamala. Do I think there's a little trolling going on too? There's a little kind of a wry little joke in there too? Absolutely, because he's a masterful politician. As much as I think he's a tyrannical dictator, I think he's a masterful politician. There's a reason why he's in the position that he's in. And there's no way of blaming that. There's also a part of me that feels I don't really know him that well. And I'm just kind of taking what I've seen, that's happened. But I know there's a lot of, Mother Russia, native Russians that support him, and they like his strength. They like his balls. And so that didn't sound good, but you know what I mean? And so I don't know. There's a lot of ignorance I'm willing to admit. I'm not too big to not admit that there could be a lot of things that I'm ignorant towards. And so I'd like to know a little bit more about him before I give him a final assessment. But yeah, attacking Ukraine, arresting people who disagree with him and who dissent, reeks of a banana republic and a tyranny. So I just look at the actions. I look at the consequences. And I hate Marxists. I hate socialists, and I hate communists. I hate those ideas. Those ideologies have destroyed countries. They've destroyed republics. They've destroyed millions and millions of people's lives. I don't know how many people remember the gulags and Stalin. You want to talk about people talk about Hitler. Yes, of course. But Stalin was right up there. I mean, Stalin was a thug and a gangster to the max. He killed millions and millions of his own people, starved in the worst, most egregious medieval fashion. I mean, Stalin was one of the worst of the worst. And so I definitely think there's a little dichotomy there of, yeah, I want the weaker American government because that makes Russia strong. And yeah, I'm doing a little trolling because I really think she's not fascinating. She's absolutely atrocious. There's no way. Putin behind closed doors, he literally, same way that we think of Fannie Willis, she's a joke. She's a joke. There's no other way of looking at it. So make sure you check out that video I posted today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Yes, Russia collusion, hoax 2.0 is in full effect, and it's even worse than the one 4 years ago on Trump that they tried to pull. Russia is back, but it's an even bigger hoax. So Russia hoax 2.0, no good. No bueno, bad, awful, egregious. We're not falling for it. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the other videos that are coming up. And as always, may God bless